YouTube, how you doing? I am back with another video, and I am here to talk to you guys about Married at First Sight. So we are into the third episode of the actual experiment, and the fourth episode if you include the casting, and it is the wedding night / honeymoon. So let's take it couple by couple this week because last week my video was kind of long, and plus I added a little annotations in there with my fiance and the dog. It was hilarious to me. I just wanted to share it with you guys. But let's get back into Married at First Sight. So let's first talk about Jamie and Doug. My not so favorite couple, but hey, they seem like they're working things out. So they go in for their honeymoon, and they see the honeymoon suite, and she is like, let me just let you know, this is not going to happen. Let's not, So, but they did start to talk and everything, and Doug was trying to get close to her. She was like, no, you on this side of the bed, dude. So, but they are starting to open up a line of communication, which I am glad about that. She is starting to kind of ease up a little bit, and then they're off to their honeymoon. He's trying his best to make this transition easy for her, try to do whatever. In the honeymoon suite, he shows her the flipbook that we saw earlier that he did. She thought that was so sweet. She's like, oh, all these people are at the wedding, and her family's not that big, and the issues with her mom and the drug abuse or whatever. She expressed that or whatever, but she was really appreciative of that flipbook, and I think that's kind of started opening up the lines of communication for them. Now, they go to St. Thomas for their honeymoon, which was great. I like that. They had a beautiful room. It was set up so romantically because it is their honeymoon, but she was like, I don't even want to sleep in the bed with him. But, they will go on activities, and, if beginning of the honeymoon, she wasn't wanting him to touch her. Towards the end, he was starting to touch, and they finally went on their romantic, dinner, and they got to talk, and they finally kissed. So I was so excited that they have opened up their lines of communications. She is starting to try to see that Doug is a really great guy. She whispered to the camera, he doesn't know that I like him, but we're going to keep that a secret. So I'm happy that she started to learn to like him. I'm still really on the fence about this, as if this is going to last the whole time, because that he has other issues that they did in the previous, but I don't want to get into that. But I don't know. But I'm happy that she's finally opened up, and she's not like, I made the biggest mistake of my life anymore. She's opening up to this experiment. Towards the end, she actually called herself his wife, which in the first she could not even see that happening. So Doug and Jamie, something has changed. Now, let's talk about Courtney and Jason. Courtney and Jason, they're going to their honeymoon. He tries to carry her on the threshold. He hits her head on the door. They're jumping in the bed. They are just like teenagers. They have a really great connection with each other. And they're dating. I thought maybe that their relationship would get physical at first night, but surprisingly it didn't. They just took it slow but easy, and they're just going with the flow, and they have a really great connection, which I like. They got a honeymoon in the Poconos, I guess because it wasn't so far from, excuse me y'all, excuse me, it wasn't so far from the Poconos, so far from New York, because of their jobs and everything, and his mom. So they're enjoying, going on activities and things of that nature. She gets him to go horseback riding, which is something that he has never done before. He's a little uncomfortable with it. He's like, next time we're going to do something I want to do. They had this big old tub in their room, and they decided to go and use that in their bathing suits. Towards the end of the honeymoon, they did have their intimacy. which was great. And their dinner was nice. They got to talk. He's a little concerned how things are going to be when they go back to reality with him being EMT and his schedule being as hectic and her schedule. And she was like, oh, I'll bring you lunch. So I think that's really, really sweet. So we'll see how that couple goes. Now, the couple that I really, really like, Vaughn and Monet, they disappointed me this week. So Vaughn and Monet, they're getting ready to go to honeymoon suite. He's carrying her shoes, which I think is so sweet because my fiance, he wouldn't carry my shoes. He barely carries my purse. He carries it like this. It's a brush off. Like it's like it is trash or contaminated or whatever the case you want to call it. But anyway, he carries his shoes. They go up and he's like, I guess I need to carry you over the threshold. And she was like, fool, this ain't no threshold, this is a hotel room. But it was nice or whatever. And they went in and they went ahead and did what they do as husband and wife, which to me, looking at this episode, was not a good thing for them per se. So anyway, they get done with the honeymoon night and wedding night, sorry, and they go and have brunch with their family and everything, and their family has their thing and tells them that they're going to Puerto Rico. Well, he's been to Puerto Rico, so of course he's just like, oh, we gotta go here, we gotta go there, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. And but it's kind of good when somebody has been to where you're traveling to. So they get to Puerto Rico and their physical relationship is great, but you can start to see that they're not connecting the way he wants them to connect. Because to me, they are connecting. They're talking. They're having they're having conversations or whatever. But I guess he wants to feel this closeness. But you got to think that you are strangers, even though that you are married. And of course, people have one night stands all the time. So sex is, in this society, is not just that. So just to say, okay, she's my wife, we had sex, does not mean that everything's all good and dandy. So they were walking through an old part of Puerto Rico. They had went into some shops and things of that nature, and he just kind of like goes in on her. I don't think that she asked him, do you want to hold hands? And he's like, no. And she was like, take it back. And she was like, I don't understand. I don't know where it's coming from. But I am trying. And he was like, I would think that we would do blah, blah, blah. I don't even remember what he was saying. It was just out of the blue for me, right? So they go on a romantic night and they're trying to talk or whatever. And then they have their thing in the pool. So I have no idea how this is going to turn out, because where I thought that they were getting along great, he doesn't think that way. Anyway, that is this week's episode of Married at First Sight, and I will see you guys next week with the next episode. Bye.